Manoel is 62 years old. One morning, he stood in front of the bathroom mirror. The towel on his shoulder, the steam rising, his face marked by the years. He observed every line, every gray hair, every trace of tiredness. And he thought silently, "I think my time has passed." He got ready, put on some perfume, left the house. But it was as if he were invisible. He walked down the street, went into a bakery, sat on a park bench, and no one seemed to notice. As if he were no longer there. Maybe you are feeling the same way too. Noticing that the glances that used to come easily now escape you. That the attention that used to be natural has become absent. And here lies a great danger for us, men over 50. Believing that we have lost our value. That we are no longer desired. That we no longer make a difference. But let me tell you clearly, that is a lie. Manoel discovered a secret. Something that completely changed the way women see him. And it has nothing to do with money, or a fit body, or youth. It's something he already had inside him, and you have it too. You just need to wake up. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. So subscribe to the channel now, because here we talk about what no one else talks about, but what every man needs to hear, especially after 50. First, confidence without arrogance. Have you ever noticed that type of man who walks into a room, and without saying a word, everyone naturally turns their gaze to him? It's not because he's the tallest, or the most handsome. It's something else. It's presence. It's posture. It's silent confidence. That's Manoel. One night, he arrived at a charming cafe in the city center. It was raining lightly outside, and the sound of the drops hitting the window contrasted with the low conversation of the people around him. Manoel came in, took off his hat, greeted the waiter with a sincere smile, and went to the table in the corner, where his friends were already waiting for him. No exaggeration, no grand entrance. But still, some heads turned, because Manoel didn't need to make noise to be noticed. A light linen shirt, well ironed. An old watch, inherited from his father. A discreet but striking perfume, the kind that leaves a memory. And most importantly, a calm look of someone who carries stories, not anxiety. He sat down, crossed his legs elegantly, rested his arms on the table, and joined in the conversation. While the others talked loudly, discussing football, politics, and memories of his youth, Manoel listened, and when he spoke, everyone stopped. It was that night that a woman, at the next table, approached him. She must have been around 50, with a curious look and a natural elegance. She smiled, tucked her hair behind her ear, and asked, almost in a whisper, "Excuse me, can I ask you something? Have you always been like this, so confident and calm?" Manoel smiled lightly, lowered his gaze a little, and replied, "I used to be quite agitated. I tried to prove who I was all the time. But today I know what I have, and those who know what they have don't need to show it all the time." The answer was not rehearsed. It came from within, from someone who understood that true strength lies in balance, in the ability to stay calm when everyone else is losing theirs, of being whole, even if the world is falling apart on the outside. Manoel doesn't try to look younger. He doesn't wear what's in fashion. He doesn't force jokes. He simply is. And that is the beauty of maturity. When a man becomes whole on the inside, he doesn't need much on the outside. It is this silent confidence that attracts. It is not his appearance that wins him over. It is the peace he carries. A woman is not enchanted by what he has, but by what he transmits. Manoel is like this, confident, calm, and self-possessed. And that, my friend, is magnetic. Question to reflect on. Do you transmit confidence, or are you still always trying to prove who you are? Second, listen with your heart. It was a warm autumn afternoon. That gentle breeze dancing through the leaves, the smell of wet earth coming from a nearby garden. Manoel, as usual, went for a walk after lunch. He walked slowly, his hands clasped behind his back, his eyes attentive to the movement of the city. When he arrived at the little square near the bandstand, where the band still played on Sundays, he sat down on his favorite bench, made of wood that was already somewhat worn by time. He sat there, watching life go by, children running, couples strolling, old men chatting. That was when a woman approached. She must have been around 55 years old, with a tired expression, but her eyes full of stories. She sat down slowly, at a respectful distance, and let out a soft sigh. Without even realizing it, she began to speak. It wasn't a formal conversation. It was a way of letting off steam. She told him about her children, who barely had time for her, about the fear of growing old alone, about how invisible she felt, even though she was surrounded by people. And Manoel, he stayed there, present. He didn't look at his watch. He didn't touch his cell phone. He didn't interrupt to give hasty advice, nor did he try to solve her problems. He just listened, with attentive eyes, with an open heart, with the silence of someone who understands that sometimes what the other person needs most is simply to be heard. When she finished, she was silent for a few seconds. She looked at him with teary eyes and said, with a smile mixed with relief and surprise, "It's been a while since someone listened to me like that, for real." And that touched Manoel. He already knew, but then he was certain. Nowadays, everyone talks too much and listens too little. The world is full of voices, but lacking in ears. Manoel understood that listening, truly, is an act of respect. It's a way of saying, "I'm here. I see you. You matter." Because a woman may forget the words you said, but she will never forget how you made her feel. And when she feels she was listened to attentively, calmly, with genuine interest, she feels valued, respected. Put it on. Manoel doesn't have ready-made speeches. He hasn't learned seduction techniques, but he knows how to listen. And that, my friend, is worth more than 1,000 well-rehearsed words. Question to think about. Do you listen with your ears or with your heart? Third, take care of yourself without exaggeration. Manoel has never been a fan of the gym. But he has a discreet elegance, a well-ironed shirt, a matching belt, a light perfume. He walks lightly with straight shoulders and that calm smile on his face. One day, a younger man asked, "Manoel, what's the secret to still getting women's attention?" He laughed and replied, "Secret? I just take care of myself, inside and out." He doesn't do it out of vanity. He does it out of respect for the man he has become. Maintain good habits, eat better, take care of his emotional and physical health. This is not luxury. It's self-care. Women notice and admire, because a man who values himself sparks interest without having to say a word. Question to reflect on. Are you taking care of yourself or putting it off? Fourth, emotional maturity. Manoel has been through a lot. He has lost loved ones, raised children, and gone through ups and downs. And over time, he learned a lesson that few understand. You don't have to win every argument to earn respect. One time, he was talking to a woman he liked. She was angry, upset with life. Any other man would have fought back. He would have kept quiet. He would have exploded. Not Manoel. He waited for her to finish, and said in a low voice, "I understand, and I'm here. You can count on me." She cried, not out of sadness, but out of relief, because she felt safe, and a man who offers emotional security is worth his weight in gold. He doesn't fight out of pride. He chooses peace. Question to reflect on. Do you react impulsively, or do you respond with maturity? Fifth, independence and stability. Manoel has a routine. He wakes up early. He makes coffee. He walks. He reads. He listens to his old songs. He doesn't wait around for someone to make him happy. He doesn't need a woman to fill the voids, because he's already complete. One day a woman said, "You attract me because you don't seem like you need me, but you still make me want to be around." And he replied with a smile, "Before I liked you, I learned to like myself." That, my friend, is rare. Men like that don't suffocate. They don't demand. They don't beg for affection. They invite, and whoever is by their side feels free. Question to reflect on. Do you feel good alone, or do you always wait for someone to feel complete? Sixth, kindness and genuine chivalry. The other day, Manoel was in a restaurant. It was raining heavily. He saw a woman struggling to leave with her bag and umbrella. He got up, went to her, protected her with his own umbrella, opened the car door and wished her good night. He did it without expecting anything. He didn't even know that anyone was watching. Later, a woman who saw the scene commented, "Men like that hardly exist anymore." And Manoel responded in his own way. "My mother used to say, the way you treat others shows the size of your soul." In a fast-paced world, kindness is rare, but it reveals something powerful, character. And character is more attractive than any appearance. Question to reflect on. Is your kindness interest or part of who you really are? Manoel is not rich, he is not famous, nor does he have the body of a 20-year-old. But he has value. Value in his attitudes, in his eyes, in the way he treats others. And that is what makes him deeply admirable. Maybe you're wondering, can I still be like this? And I'll tell you, yes, you can, because you already have all of this inside you. You just need to wake up. If this video touched you, share it with a friend who also needs to hear it. Like it, activate the bell, and subscribe to the channel. Because here, we talk from man to man, without filters, without shame, with truth.